pass it out. Girl, stop all that tripping, I pass it out. Call, cut it, roll deep.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Gerard Smith, aka the Drip Poppy himself. Look, I got rid of the Drip Lord. It's too long. You know what I'm saying? It's too long. And today, alright guys, so for today's video, we're gonna be doing another story time because story times are just highly requested on this channel. Y'all love story times. I love the story times. I didn't even know I was that good of a storyteller, but hey, if y'all love the videos, man, I'm gonna make sure I keep providing the videos, man. All right guys, so for the post notification shout outs for today, this will be the first installment on the channel. The first post notification shout out will go to Ariana Sky, who was randomly selected out of the comments from the last video. Shout out to you for being here quick and having your post notifications on. The next shout out will go to Bankroll Mike, who also left a comment on the last video. He was there early. Shout out to you. Hey, thank you guys for supporting. If you want to be entered into the role for the post notification shout out, all you have to do is post a comment as soon as the video is uploaded and I will choose them by random. You can leave your Instagram name, you can leave just your name, you can leave just a regular comment. So today's story time topic is the time that I was the side piece. Yes, I was the side piece at one time. Anybody can be a side piece. Don't ever think that you look too good to be a side piece. Don't ever think that you look, you know, that you're just this higher standard. Anybody can be the side piece, man. Some people take it negatively and end up becoming a worse person and end up becoming just like the people that did them dirty, and I think that's pretty counterintuitive, but to each his own. However you choose to heal from whatever situations that you've had, be my guest. Look, we're not gonna ask for no likes, no subscribers, none of that today, man. We're just gonna get right to the video, because if you enjoy the video, you'll do whatever you want. You know, I want it to be that way. You know what I'm saying? I want to produce the content that's gonna make you guys want to subscribe to me, want to like my videos, and want to comment on them. I don't feel like I should have to ask for them. Alright, so this goes back to my junior year of high school. I was attending a school named Lee. I had just transferred from South County High School, which was the school I attended in my virginity story. During this time period, I had just switched schools because me and my mom moved to a different location. So I ended up switching schools and having to start all the way over. So by the time I got to Robert E. Lee High School, which if you didn't know, Robert E. Lee is a Confederate war general, which is kind of crazy, the fact that they have a school named after him. But you know, whatever, I had to do what I had to do to get that diploma. Anyways, let's get hypey, nibby. So look, pretty much it was my first day of school. My schedule was set up in a couple of ways. So you had alternating days. So pretty much some days you would have these classes and some days you would have these classes. Pretty much probably how most schools work. So my class right before lunch was my English class, right? I went there for my first time. I want y'all to visualize this with me, all right? So imagine it's your first day of school. You're walking into class, you know what I'm saying? Your teacher's writing on the board, welcome to the class, writing her name, and pretty much just handing out the syllabuses on every desk to make sure that everybody knows what the curriculum is going to be for the rest of the year. This class had assigned seats, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much we came in, everybody that was on the roll had an assigned seat. Me, since my last name starts with an S, I was sat in a certain seat based off of my last name. Now there was a girl that came in class, you know what I'm saying? She sat right next to me because that was her assigned seat, and her last name also started with an S. This used to be so awkward because in the future, at least, every time there'd be a test or a quiz for this class, we would sit next to each other. So even when we were beefing, we would have to sit next to each other. It was always just so awkward. Anyways, continuing the story. So the first day I meet her, everything was cool, you know what I'm saying? I was a new kid in school, so you know, everybody that already attended the school knew who each other were. You know what I'm saying? Like how there's certain schools where everybody comes from like elementary school and hops up to middle school and then hops up to high school, and everybody knows each other. They just grew up together. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how the school was. Everybody at the school knew each other and they've known each other for a long period of time. So me being the new kid, I knew who nobody was. So I figured because of that, she knew that I was a new kid because, you know, she had been here for a while. So she started a conversation with me, you know, asking me where I'm from, you know, what school I'm coming from, pretty much, you know, all of that stuff. So I'm getting to know her, she's getting to know me, you know, we're starting to, you know, just, you know, get to know each other, breaking it down. In my opinion, at least, you know, we started to hit it off. You know, everything was cool. You know, I was like, oh, she's a cool person. You know, her vibe's pretty cool. You know, she's just chill. Like, I mess with it. Like, I mess with it. It's chill. It's cool. I ended up getting her number that day.
My nigga.
And from that day on, we started texting. So pretty much our texting just revolved around, you know, just getting to know each other. You know, pretty much just expressing like I think you know, you're cute, I think you're cute, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, just typical high school, you know, stuff, you know what I'm saying? Nothing too major yet. at this point at least. So pretty much since we had that class, we would see each other every other day. And since our last names were pretty close, we used to always get grouped up and put into projects together. So we used to always do projects in groups together. But these were usually like in class, you know, projects and in class, you know, group assignments and stuff like that. So it was pretty chill to just get to know each other. Now, the way that our personalities were is we used to always just fry each other. We used to just like talk a lot of trash and play fight and goof off and stuff, and that used to just be what got us close. Because, you know, when you were younger, play fighting, talking trash, and, you know, all types of stuff, like all types of that type of stuff with each other used to like bring people together, and that's how most people started dating or whatever. So me and her started hitting it off. We would text, FaceTime, and eventually we started FaceTime, and it got to the point to where we would, you know, FaceTime for hours and hours. So fast forward to like about a month is when homecoming was coming around. So because, you know, she was one of the first girls that I liked, you know, as a teen that felt like I had that mind state to where now it's not just a petty relationship like in middle school or elementary school. I was looking forward to having my first real relationship, you know, a relationship that lasts more than 2 weeks, a relationship that lasts more than a month, you know, more than a year, you know what I'm saying? I wanted something real, you feel me? So, you know, I was looking forward to, you know, starting something real with her. You know, homecoming was on its way around, so I was gonna ask her to go to homecoming with me, you know what I'm saying? I wanted, you know, homecoming was like the big thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had never went to a homecoming before, I had never went to a prom or nothing before, and this is my junior year of high school. Like, freshman year, sophomore year, I was not, you know, the cool kid. I didn't go out to homecomings, I didn't really go out to parties or anything. So junior year was like my first year of really just stepping out and, you know, doing stuff different, you feel me? So pretty much, I built a poster. You know, I was on the football team and she was on the girls basketball team. So I came up with like a creative poster. It had like a football on it, a basketball on it. It had something to do with sports. It was very creative, in my opinion. I thought it was very creative. I know, I sound conceited as fuck. I'm talking about it was very creative. So I asked her to homecoming and she said yes, of course.
Shut up. Shut your bitch ass up.
I need help. I asked her to homecoming, she said yes, and it was pretty cool, you know, to finally know, you know, to know that I was going to homecoming. Now, your boy had bands, you know what I'm saying? Your boy had bands, so I bought both of our tickets. Fast forward to homecoming, you know what I'm saying? I'm wearing a white button up with a blue tie, gray pants, and she had on this nice, like, maroon dress. She looked nice, she had looked beautiful, or whatever. You know, I had messed with her at the time, so I'm not gonna joan on her yet. I'm not gonna get under her head yet, but we'll get to that point, you feel me? So anyways, we went to homecoming, you know, all of our friends were there. It was a lit experience, it was fun, music was great. It was funny because at first, like, we didn't even want, like, to be in a relationship. Like, the goal wasn't even a relationship. Like, we were just talking. Like, back in high school, talking was, like, a big thing. Like, talking was, like, really, really big. And even though people go through the talking stage now is thought of differently than it was back then. Like, you could talk to someone back in the day and still do relationship things and feel like you're in a relationship. Like, you can't talk to certain people, you can't do this and that. It was more so like a preliminary round to like a relationship. Now, if you're talking to someone, you're free to do whatever the hell you want to. I don't need to answer to you about nothing. At this point, it's more about how my morals are and how your morals are. So even though we didn't want a relationship, we didn't want the title, we were in a talking stage where she came up with these rules, like, you can't talk to this girl or this girl. And pretty much I came with my was like, I don't like you talking to that dude or stuff like that. Nowadays, I'm not gonna do that. You can talk to whoever you want, but back in the day, man, everybody's had their like their stage of just feeling like insecure at some point about certain things, or just like insecure about a relationship or insecure about a person. At this point in time, after homecoming, we started to hit it off even more. We were FaceTiming like 9 hours a day. We were falling asleep on FaceTime, stuff like that. And I remember on one particular night, we were just on FaceTime, we were talking, and she was writing something, and I didn't know what she was writing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so what are you doing? What are you writing? And she's pretty much like, oh, I'm just writing a letter. I was like, oh, to who? She's like, oh, just to one of my friends, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't think anything of it. You know, I was playing my game. I was probably playing like 2K or something. I didn't think nothing of it. So just keep that in mind. Remember, she's just writing a letter to somebody. She said it was her friend. Just keep that in mind. Powder Puff season started, which was, if you guys don't know, Powder Puff is pretty much girls football, or like girls flag football if we're being exact. So pretty much all the girls around my school participated in the flag football. So I had signed up to be a coach. I ended up coaching the Powder Puff team with a couple other of my friends, which I don't even know if they were really, I would even call them friends, because I don't think I really even had any friends at Lee. I'm just gonna be honest, I had like a solid like 2 friends at Lee. But anyways, I was on the Powder Puff coaching staff, or whatever you want to call it. And she was on the Powder Puff team. Now, there was a few guys that were coaching with me, and there was a bunch of girls on the team. Now, just out of random, she just started acting really, really weird. Like, she just was her vibe was just off. Like, she started texting back weird, like not responding. She just started being like really weird towards me. Like, the vibe was just completely different from where it was like a few months back, or during homecoming, or even the first day that I met her, or just anything. Like, her vibe was just off. We weren't FaceTiming, we weren't texting, we weren't calling or anything. And when I seen her in person, she just acted, you know, kind of off, like just weird. Like she didn't want to be seen like around me or anything like that. It was just off. Like, it just caught me by surprise. And the way that I am, I'm very good at figuring things out and putting things together. So during the Powder Puff era, or whatever you want to call it, she didn't speak to me. You know, she was on the team, but she just never talked to me. Then all of a sudden, another day of practice, she just doesn't speak to me at all. Like, I'm talking about, there's no eye contact, there's no text back, there's no calls. I texted her maybe like 3-4 times that day and got not a single response.
Cut that bitch off!
But when I saw her, she was on her phone, just all this and that, bro. Like, it was just irritating. So pretty much I texted her and I was like, yeah, I'm done, I'm not messing with you, blah, blah, blah. And then this is when the news comes out. Right? So this is when shit starts to hit the fan. This is when stuff starts to get wild. You dig what I'm saying? So listen, all of a sudden, you know, I'm telling her we got into this argument or whatever. Pretty much I'm like, I don't understand like what's going on, but you clearly don't mess with me the same way. So like, there's no point in us talking. Like, I'm gonna go do my thing. I'm gonna do me. You can do you. And she was like, it's not even like that, but all right, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, all right, cool, fuck it. So about 3 days goes by. 3 days goes by, y'all. I shit you not. 3 days go by. And I remember one day I'm just scrolling on Twitter on my phone, and somebody that I knew retweeted one of her photos, right? And her photo was with her and this dude, right? It was her and this guy. And the caption was like, he's finally back. I missed you so much. Like, baby this and stuff like that. Just shit like that. Just gushy stuff like that, right? So I'm like, huh? What? She's talking about he's finally back, and like all her friends are like, oh, you guys are so cute, I've missed y'all together, this and that. And I'm like, huh? So come to find out that this dude used to go to Lee, but he ended up leaving out to go to boot camp. If y'all remember when I told you we were on FaceTime, and you know, I'm feeling like everything's all good, you know, we're all together, you know, me and her together, we're hitting it off, and she's writing a letter. The person she was writing a letter to was him, because he's off at boot camp. He can't text or call her. They have to write letters back and forth to each other. So she's writing letters to a whole nother guy while sitting on FaceTime with me, using me for my time, you know what I'm saying? And just like flirting with me, using me just pretty much as like her disposable side nigga. In the moment, I was enraged, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh no, she's got me fucked up. Like, I'm petty. So I went into petty mode instantly. I went on Twitter and pretty much exposed her. Pretty much fried her for it. It was like, yo, you are the most conniving person that I've met. She's messing with me while she's got a whole nother dude at boot camp, blah, blah, blah. Like, just going off on her, right? Oh yeah, and I said names too. Yeah, it get reckless. Pretty much her friends were like, you don't have to do that. Just, can you please take the post down? You know, just trying to protect her and stuff. They knew she was wrong. And I didn't want to hear nothing from them either, because they knew that I liked the girl and they knew about him, and they said nothing to me about it. It was just like an elaborate plot to just sustain her, whatever the hell she was trying to sustain. They kept it a secret just as much as she did. So I ended up finding out who the dude was, and I ended up DMing him, right? So I'm like, hey, I don't know if you know, but while you've been gone, your girl's been talking to me. Your girl's been messing with me. Your girl's been coming over to my house. Your girl's been, you know, making out with me after practice. Your girl's been, you know, pretty much doing this. And I'm like, I just want to let you know, because I didn't even know you existed, and I thought I was the only person she was talking to. And at the same time, she's been writing letters to you, and while she's writing these letters, she's on FaceTime with me. So he's like, word? Like, are you serious? That's really how she's rocking. So pretty much me and him, you know, me and him created like a little nice little pact thing for that moment. Like, I've never spoke to him after that, but it was like we pretty much, you know, saw eye to eye, because we're like, yo, there's no point in us beefing because we ain't even know. So pretty much he ends up breaking up with her. She gets exposed on Twitter. She can't talk to me no more. And now she's niggaless. She's not with nobody no more. She's not with nobody no more. She's completely single. He broke up with her, stopped talking to her. I stopped talking to her, blocked her on everything. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much we ended up just frying her all over social media and just making her look stupid. And she looked stupid for a good 2 months. But that's enough of the story time. I hope y'all enjoyed the story time. It's a little over the place. I know my story times are usually a bit better, but it's kind of hard to go over like a trial period of like with a girl that lasted months, because it's like you can't go over every single day. So I had to jump around a little bit, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this story time. But with no further ado, man, I'm not gonna hold y'all up no longer. I'm out, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. I love y'all. I'm out of here, dog. Yeah.